Wow, look at this bone bed. It's amazing. Hey, Breach, tell me a little bit about this.
Hi,
What's
Lloyd.
going on here? Huh?
So we're still at the West Coast Fossil Park, and we're inside the main excavation site, which is the Bonebed. It's called a bonebed just because of the incredible density of fossil remains here. Bone on top of bone on top of bone. This was excavated in the 1990s by people from the Zico Museum in Cape Town, and these are real fossils. They've left everything
Wow.
on display for the
Yeah.
public to view. What's incredible about the bone bed is not just the sheer density of fossils, but the types of fossils we get here. So we get everything from thousands and thousands of tiny little frog bones to bones from huge civethias, which are relatives of giraffes. You can see on the poster in the back there a reconstruction of a civethia. So huge
Amazing,
animals
yeah.
intermixed with very small animals, and animals
Impressive.
from lots of different environments. So the civethias are land-dwelling terrestrial animals, the frogs are freshwater aquatic animals, and then you also get marine animals like seals and whales, all mixed up together in this bed.
And what do you think would be the reason for that?
There's
What's the sort of site formation process thing going on here? What do you think?
There's a lot of debate about it. The most commonly held idea, and the one that most people hear when they come to visit the site, is that we've got here a phosphate rock against the back wall, and that this was part of a river channel, and the rock created an obstruction to flow, and bones, partial animal carcasses, loose bones, were being washed down the river during flood, and then in this pool-like area in front of the rock, they were being deposited. The flow was dropping them in an area where there was suddenly a lot less flow, and the bones were stacking up, and then other animals would come to the water to drink, and they'd tread on bones and stand on bones, push them into the mud, and so in this muddy, wet environment was perfect for preservation of all
Okay.
these bones to push. So in this corner here, in this square, these are 1 meter by 1 meter squares. It was how the site was excavated. We have some interesting finds that show how mixed the site is. So this is a broken up mandible, a lower jaw of a civethia. There's a tooth, but the surface bone has been cut away. These two here are whale vertebra, and this one over here is the radius from a seal, all mixed in together in this one little
Wow,
spot.
that's fantastic. Huh?
So it suggests that it's difficult to find an environment where you can mix large terrestrial animals, vertebrates, with marine
stuff,
animals. The common idea is that it was a river going down into an estuary, and that occasional storms would wash up marine material into the estuary.
So the civethia was a kind of a giraffe, right? One of a group of giraffes.
Yes,
Short-necked giraffe, right?
It's called a short-necked giraffe. It's not because it didn't grow a long neck. It's not a direct ancestor of modern giraffes. The civethia is a offshoot of the giraffe family that went extinct. The animal most similar to it in modern looks and ecology, the modern animal most similar to it, is an animal called the okapi, which is found in Central Africa.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
We know they're related to the giraffes because they have the same horns. Most African antelopes have a horn with a keratin sheath.
Yeah.
Giraffes, the horns are covered in skin, so they're called ossicones.
Okay.
And that's what we see in civetias. That's how we know they're related to giraffes. This is part of a civethia skull. So there's a horn, and there's the other horn, and this bubbly structure over here is the internal skull structure below the horn. That's what tells us these are ossicones and not normal antelope horns, is the structure.
What was that? Ice cream cones. What did you say?
Ossocones.
Ossocones. Oh, I thought you said ice cream cones. Okay. All right. Apology.